Tao Te Ching, chapter 41. Oh, faith! A great scholar hears of Tao and practices it diligently. Oh, doubt! And every scholar hears of Tao and gives it a thought now and then. Oh, stupid! A foolish scholar hears of Tao and laughs out loud. If it's not being laughed at, it's not enough to be a long-lived Tao. Thus is said, he who is enlightened without seems stupid. He who leads from behind seems timid. He who is profound seems ordinary. Oh, how true that if one does not understand a man, one tends to regard him as a fool. Yes, he who has obtained virtuous is humble but seems empty. He has great purity but seems tarnished. Has abundance to share with others but seems not enough. Has great strength but seems frail. Has great quality but seems unreal. Oh, it's true that the greatest appears beyond the ordinary. The greatest square has no corners. The greatest vessels has late completion. The greatest sound is silence. The greatest image has no shape. Oh, nameless, Tao is hidden in everything and in every thought. Oh, only Tao and Tao alone that give birth to all things and completes all things the greatest way. Oh, this Master Luke Chen, I'm talking about Tao Te Ching. Oh, today, beautiful chapter is one of the very important chapter 42. And then, and first of all, I memorize it. I repeat it in my head every single day. And Tao 生一，一生二，二生三，三生万物，万物负阴而抱阳，充气以为和。人之所恶为孤寡不古，而王公以为称。故损之而获益，或益之而损。人之所教，我亦教之。强梁者不得其死。So you can read my book to have the literary translation. And what I just read, at the beginning was the interpretation translation. And it's the difference is one is just word more or less literary translation. The other one is I add on some explanations why it is try to get the essence of the chapter. But this chapter, wow, it's not took me a long time to realize, and then so I wrote it in this diagram in my book. And 1, 2, 3 it's I can explain it in this in the fractal. The beginning Tao is we don't know what it is, and then begin 1 begets 1, and then from begets 1, 2, 3, and so on. So and 3 actually is the fractal, and then everything derived from 3. What is the 3? The first one is the wonders. So Tao transcendent is beyond this world, and then now is 1. But now that 1 and then yin and yang plus 1 equals 3, and then this is the fractal. and then in a pattern, Tai Chi pattern. That's why you need to learn Tai Chi and Qigong in order to understand it. And then, and then you start to turn, and then the breath of Qi and come into play. So traditionally in Tao, we said one is the original breath, Qi, and then yin and yang harmonize with the Qi together. Now it took me for a long time to understand what Wang Bi is saying in his explanation or commentary, and and I didn't understand it until now. And I realized, when I wrote the book, I realized that time already from Zhuangzi. Nowadays, and when you look at the Zhuangzi, he said, try to say the same thing, but it is a little bit different. But we're not getting into it. But what happened is that explanations like this. Now here, Tao is such a one, begets one. And then one is including everything, thought, words, talking, and everything. But as soon as that one, this must be this verbal one, that must be a non-verbal one, yin and yang, because they come together, yin and yang. That's become two. And then the two add back to the original one will be three, and so on is to 10,000 things. Now, if you look at the Fibonacci sequence, actually it's very similar. So at the beginning, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, and then become 1. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. 2 plus 1 equal 3, and then of course 3 plus 2 equal to 5, and then 5 plus 3 equal to 8, 8 plus 5 13, and so on. You become 10,000 things. But in Tao Te Ching, we use 1, 2, 3 is the end of it, but because everything contains that. So everything, every breath we do, breathing, is original Qi, and then yin and yang. We are male and female, and everything is contradictory, but with harmony with the Qi, harmonize everything together. So we can observe the whole universe is like that. I mean, we try to observe that, but again, it's but anyway, it's very interesting chapter. So, so in the beginning, and I try to explain it in the conversation between Laoji and ask him. So what's going on? So that's the beginning. It's very important if you are into commentary of Ho Shangong and Wang Bi. Now, if you're a scholar, the time I'm talking about, most of you already probably lost interest. But those people are scholars, and they have to listen. Hey man, you have to listen, even though you have all the titles of the scholar, okay? Especially in China, in Taiwan, every professors, they wrote Tao Te Ching. And then remember that they all follow Wang Bi's commentary. And then Wang Bi's commentary, when you look at it at the beginning, he said, everything goes back to Wu. Wu. So he come up with Xuan Xue, with the Wu. And then, but it is wrong. Not wrong, but it's not what the Tao Te Ching said. Tao begets one. Tao, at the beginning, Tao, Fa Zhi Ran. Tao is nature. Not suddenly Tao, above Tao there's the Wu, another thing. Another word, Wu. But anyway, we're not getting into that because we have to go through the text. I mean, the good thing is that original text, I mean, I just read the Chinese, and it was from 2,600 years old, the text. So we base on the original Chinese and then explain what he means, what Ho Sang Gong is saying, and then what we want to do. What we want to do, natural long life Tao, 长生久息之道. That means we need to practice Tao, not just talk. But now I just talk. But anyway, it's a beautiful chapter, and then it took me a long time to contemplate. It took a long time and read a lot of books. That's why eventually I wrote 庄子 into that book. That's why it's so thick. And I put the Chinese what Wang Bi say in Chinese, and that's what he said. And then I translate. And then what Ho Sang Gong said in Chinese, that's what I translate. So that if you know Chinese, compare. If you don't know Chinese, now there's evidence in the Chinese and then angry explanation, but you can ask your Chinese friend. You cannot just pick out something and then put everything underneath the carpet. But anyway, I'm getting into my head. Just like Chinese, nothing at all about English, and then you translate Shakespeare's into Chinese. That's what happened. But anyway, so we learn Tao and learn how to incorporate with ourselves. So when we do is if you're into Tai Chi, that's the Tai Chi pattern or Qigong pattern. That from 0 and then 1, 2, 3 is a spiral. So from the Dantian we do the spiral. So that's incorporate what Lao Ji is saying in the Tao Te Ching. This is so important. But this is practical. You cannot just talk all day long. The professor, just in order to increase the credential or just write it and copy from different sources and become their own. You can't do that. Well, you can do that. That's what everybody's doing. But we just common people, we need to incorporate with what we want increase our life potential. That is natural long life Tao. Love ourselves and others. You want to, we want to one together, and then the whole environment together. We all want to live a natural long life Tao. That is why Tao Te Ching is the words about, black and white writing about the whole universe, how he operates. And how he operates is the yin and yang. Tao begets one. One's original is one. And then from yin yang, so everything, sunrise, sunset, and the breathing. So yin yang, male and female, they come together and reproduce. And then with breathing, we complete our own life cycle. And then this whole thing is about that. So if you, and Lao Ji 42, if you use force, you shorten everybody's life. And then so we want peace. And the whole Tao Te Ching is how we can live peacefully in order to, because that's the way it is. You can egoistically want to live your own way. And then that is called your way. It's not wu wei. Wu wei is follow nature, follow Tao. Because you are Tao, I'm Tao. And we've been part of the whole follow the flow, just the water, follow the flow. And then of course the water doesn't have mind of its own. It just follow what is natural. And then for us we have the mind. So but the mind cause what happened. That is good or bad. No, that's not good or bad. But we can, from our own perspective, we live and die. The very short period of time, we can observe the infinity. What Tao is all about. Try to understand. And then, from the perspective of Tao going down, from the perspective of eternity, but looking down on me, on you, on all the trees, we are one. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful chapter. And then you need to live it, not just talk about it. And then, all right, so I need to quit. I talk too much. All right, so love yourself, love others, love nature is the essence of Tao. I love you from Yang Shou.